Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing fine. If not, then I'm 100% sure that you'll do fine at the end of this video series. You just have to keep a bit of patience and of course a lot of dedication and a lot of belief in yourself, of course. So let's just do a quick recap of the concept which we read yesterday. Yesterday I was talking about the concept which is related to the proper distribution of Purusha and Prakriti, and Purusha and Prakriti was furtherly distributed into 5 Gyanendriyas, Karmendriyas, the 5 postulates and the 5 Panchamahabhutas which exist, and it's a part of evolution process which was given by sage Kapila. Who was sage Kapila? We all know that he was a renowned sage who was supposed to have that level of wisdom, who is believed to have that level of wisdom, knowledge and intellect, not just that level of intuition in order to understand the perspective, in order to understand the power which is beyond the 5 senses through that high level of meditation which he did. Not just about his, but about a lot of sages as well. We just have to keep a lot of respect in order to actually understand those philosophy. So sage Kapila here says that the only requirement in order to understand this philosophy is patience. You need to keep a lot of patience in order to understand this philosophy. We also did discuss about the problems which the lady was facing, problem from herself, problem from the whole world, and problem from the forces and the natural forces. Okay, so what will I talk about today? I'll talk about the concept which is there in the 4th Karika, and it speaks about the 3 proofs. Like we tend to search for proofs, we tend to search for evidence a lot in order to recognize something, or in order to recognize, okay, what is the truth behind us? Let me just search for a solid proof or the evidence, otherwise I'll not just understand anything. Like I want to search for the solid proof. You have to believe in science, you have to give me the solid proof. If you talk about numbers, then why are you not giving me the concept of numbers? Prove me that. So what he does, what sage Kapila does, sage Kapila actually gives us a valid proof to all these things. Okay, so how will you use the senses, and why are you even using the senses, and how will you interpret the whole world, and how will you get the lessons of life? How will you reach towards the solution to all your problems? Okay, so he says that these 3 solid proofs are actually called as pramana. What is the solid proof? The solid proof is known as pramana, and he categorizes pramana into 3 categories. First is drishta, which is known as perception, and second is anumana, which is known as inference, and third is aptabachana, which is known as valid testimony. Okay, so what is drishta? Drishta is something which is very interesting. The power which you hold, which your 5 senses hold, in order to recognize the truth, in order to recognize the belief which you have to keep in order to recognize the whole nature. Okay, so like the perception centers, which is eyes, ears, skin, touch and ears, of course. So like if I see a problem, then I'll recognize, okay, this may be the right thing. If I hear something, then okay, this person may be speaking the right thing. Okay, if I'm talking, then you can believe that, okay, Shivani speaks. If you can't really hear my voice, then you will say that Shivani doesn't really speak. Okay, so you're using a perception centers here, you're using a 5 senses in order to recognize something, in order to build the truth of something. Okay, if you don't see America, then you will believe somehow that I've not seen America, then the America really exists or not, it is not just truth for myself. Okay, so if you don't really see something, or you can't really feel it through the help of your 5 senses, then you will believe that okay, this may not be the truth. First is perception, which I hope you really understood about this. Second is anumana, which is also known as inference, which is using a right cognition and logical reasoning in order to recognize the problem. For example, there may be like if you smell smoke, cigarettes, okay, then you will recognize that this smoke is coming from a cigarette. You will just understand with the help of the smell. You just don't have to see the cigarette. You will just recognize with the help of the smell. You will interpret the effect by the level of cause. So this is further categorized into 3 parts. First is Purvavat, second is Sheshavat. What is categorized into 3 parts? Just keep a lot of patience and listen to me very carefully. Okay, inference is divided into 3 parts. First is Purvavat, second is Sheshavat, and third is Samayota. First is Purvavat, which is recognized by looking at the cause or the effect. For what is the, let me just give an example of this. Okay, so if you see that if you see in the up above the sky, if you see like very thick and dark cloud, then you'll recognize that okay, so there will be a probability of getting rain by the end of this evening. So like you will actually recognize and actually collaborate all this cause and effect in order to know the truth. Okay, second is Sheshavat. Sheshavat is something which you actually recognize by looking at the effect. Like if you see muddy water or maybe running water, then you will recognize okay, so there will be some place where it will be raining very heavily. Third is Samayota. Samayota is something which you will recognize with the help of the effect, or maybe with the help of immediate collaboration of your past circumstances. So if you think of smoke which is coming out from like let's say forest, if you're visiting or maybe going out for trekking and you are seeing the smoke, then your mind will say that okay, let's just not go to that area because there will be something which is related to fire. Okay, so that is known as Samayota. So that's all about the inference, which is used with the help of knowledge and cognition, which will be brought out not just with the five senses but with the brain of your logic. Okay, third is Aptabachana, which is known as valid testimony. You're looking at my video, that doesn't mean that you are just looking at the video out of no reason. You're looking at my video and you're believing in Sage Kapila because you think that this person may be having that level of knowledge, so that this person understanding is better, or maybe that person will give me the right knowledge in order to get to the truth. So Aptabachana is something which is actually based on reliable truth and reliable evidence, or maybe a strong sense of belief from that person who is actually giving out the knowledge. It can be the books, it can be the teachers, it can be the doctors, it can be your parents, it can be anyone out there who is there in the universe and you are believing in that. Why are you even watching this video? Because you think that this person may be speaking of the right words, right? Or it can be not just with me, it can be because of your parents, it can be your books as well. Even if you're reading a book, then you will think that okay, this book may be giving me the right knowledge and I'll just read this book in order to get the right knowledge, in order to become something, or maybe an entrepreneur, maybe something. Okay, so valid testimony is something which is related to the truth, which is related to proper proof, which is related to the concept of like getting the right direction from that particular thing. I hope you did understand this concept properly, of course, I'll try my best to create videos in a different manner with a high level of understanding. Just keep a lot of patience and give a chance to me in order to see my videos regularly. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself.